My cherished one, my sacred being, you who walk with divine grace and celestial light in your wake. What causes your hands to feel so unexpectedly cool at this very moment? Why did your heart just give that peculiar flutter? It's because deep within your being, you already perceive that something has just been unsealed. A truth that was hidden away for years, and now heaven is enabling its disclosure, but exclusively to you. This revelation is yours only if you remain, because Archangel Michael is weeping loudly once more, not merely shedding tears, but wailing intensely. Do you understand his distress? It is because you perpetually overlooked the one message that was never intended to be missed. The message bearing your name inscribed in blazing gold. The message that contains the key to what someone recently confessed about you in your absence. And no, this is not one of those ordinary narratives you simply scroll past. This is the profound instance where heaven bends the very rules of time and compassion simply to bring this before you. Before we delve deeper, I implore you, if your soul is prepared to confront what has been kept from you, if your spirit senses an undeniable pull right now, then connect with this sacred domain where God and His. For should you disregard this, your perception of life might be altered forever. Emissaries speak to you, not by chance, but through divine arrangement. For missing the next soft utterance could delay something that has been trying to reach you for a prolonged period. This is not for amusement. This is a cosmic broadcast. He gazed upward, his arms marked by unseen conflicts, and murmured, "They do not comprehend what was just spoken concerning them behind closed doors, but God heard it, and now I must impart the." Archangel Michael conveyed something last night. Truth to them. Even if it shatters them, even if it brings them healing, even if they never perceive me in the same way again, my beloved, you are the subject of someone's late-night admission. Not a jest, not a fantasy, but a raw, trembling confession reaching the very core of their being. They finally voiced it. They spoke the matter you always suspected. The words they once buried beneath silence, they could no longer suppress it. I still think about them. They changed my life in a way I can't describe. I tried to replace them. I tried to forget, but it didn't work. And behold, the moment those words escaped their lips, heaven reverberated. Because you deserve to know. Yet you were not prepared until now, until this precise instant. The truth was previously too weighty for your heart. Now you possess the fortitude to receive it, but it comes with a caution. Archangel Michael stated, if they disregard this message, they will not only miss the confession, they will miss the gateway that opens because of it. And once that door is shut, it will not open a second time. Let that profound truth resonate within you. For this portal contains more than just spoken words. It offers insights. It provides understanding. It reveals the genuine reason that individual departed, and why they still hold your memory like a hallowed missive folded within their soul. As you absorb this profound truth, know that your connection to this divine flow is deepening. Liking this video right now will activate the flow of God's favor in your life, opening new pathways of blessing. My child, this is your destined moment of clear understanding, not derived from gossip, not from sorrowful tears, but from heaven's own meticulous records. You see, when someone makes an admission stemming from pain, angels take note. They meticulously document it. And when that confession pertains to you, it is held within a celestial vault until God declares, deliver it. This is that very moment. The atmosphere around you right now feels peculiar, does it not? A touch heavier, a bit warmer. That is because Archangel Michael is spiritually present. Not symbolically but truly. He holds a scroll inscribed with your name and the words contained within it. They will move you to tears. They will provoke anger. They will render you whole. Do you still wish to know? Because this information is not for the faint of heart. It is not a mere narrative. It is an account of the soul. The person who inflicted pain upon you, the one who moved on, or perhaps the one who never drew near enough. They violated a sacred trust, but they never ceased to feel its repercussions. They confided in someone recently. I believe I destroyed something holy, and they were not referring to a physical structure. They were speaking of you. You were the miracle they mishandled. And now life compels them to observe your ascendancy without them. But wait, there is more, because their confession was not the sole surprise. The true astonishment lies in what heaven has designed for you as a result of it. God is not meting out punishment upon you, He is orchestrating a profound shift. You see, sometimes an individual must confess before an opportunity opens for someone else. You are the one for whom the gateway opens because you were patient, because you did not succumb to bitterness, because you allowed your tears to nourish your. That someone is you. Very foundations. And now heaven is preparing to publicly honor you for what you silently endured. Archangel Michael articulated, inform them that this is not merely about knowing the confession. It pertains to what the confession activates, and here is the unvarnished truth. The person uttered your name, they spoke it with profound regret. They said it like someone who fully comprehends. They did not just lose an individual, they lost a divine petition. You were their answered prayer, but they permitted fear to overpower love. And now they are tormented, not by specters, but by potent memories. By the sound of your laughter, by the cosmic depths held within your eyes. By the security your silence provided, surpassing the comfort of anyone else's words. They even admitted I still track their energy. I still wonder if they also think of me. And heaven responded with mirth, for little did they know you had already progressed. Yet your spirit still left an indelible fragrance upon theirs. And now you are on the brink of being rewarded for every measure of love you generously offered. You are about to witness something extraordinary, something only the divine could arrange. Because you were unaware that while you wept during the night, someone was documenting you in their journal. Someone was inquiring with psychics about your energetic presence. Someone was murmuring to the moon for just one final indication from you. This is the heaven-sent response to their soul's earnest quest intended not for your reunion, but for your liberation to free you from anticipation, from prolonged questioning, from self-banishment, while hoping for an apology because the admission has already been made and but this message is that very sign. Healing it initiates begins now. Archangel Michael proclaimed that the instant they absorb this with their entire heart, spiritual chains will fall from their spirit, and the very angels who once bore their tears will now carry their triumph. You are entering a period of miraculous justice, not vengeance, not resentment, but divine realignment. If you believe this divine realignment is for you, type in the comments and let it be so. The individual who caused you distress has received a visitation. They are cognizant. They have been dreaming of you, encountering your name in unexpected places, hearing melodies that resonate with your unique soul print. They attempted to escape the remembrance. But heaven does not obliterate sacred bonds, it simply redirects destiny. And now you are the one being rerouted to your authentic path, your rightful recompense. The manifestation of life where tranquility becomes your daily sustenance and truth at last graces your consciousness. Archangel Michael's tears have now ceased. He watches. He witnesses your inaugural exhalation of liberty. For you now grasp that you were always the benediction. You were always the supplication. And this communication grants you permission to walk boldly in the truth heaven has always known about you. You are divine. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. My cherished one, I need you to draw a breath right now. A slow and quiet inhalation. Because what I am about to disclose might fundamentally alter your lifelong perception of yourself. You have been loved in secret. You have been the focal point of someone's unspoken world. And yet you navigated through periods. Feeling imperceptible, feeling forsaken. Feeling as though you were asking for too much when all you desired was to be embraced with honesty, to be seen without conditions, and to be chosen without. You have been the prayer someone whispered when no other gaze was upon them. Hesitation. But let me inform you now, Archangel Michael witnessed it all. He stood by your side when you were left feeling exposed. He wept with you when you granted them forgiveness even when they were undeserving. He carried your heartbreak like a child tenderly carries a broken toy, gently, meticulously, never permitting heaven to forget the depth of your love. And now he sheds tears again. But not due to your pain this time, rather because of what is on the verge of being revealed to you. You will not emerge from this unchanged, and that is not a warning. That is a promise from heaven. You must grasp this. God did not forget you. He did not overlook your efforts. He did not allow your tears to be shed in vain. Every silent tear you released was transformed into a scroll in heaven. Your name has resonated in hallowed realms. And when someone recently uttered your name on earth, an individual you know, someone you once held affection for, there was a pause in heaven. The angels halted. The divine clock slowed because what they articulated was not commonplace. It was not superficial. It was a confession, a spiritual unveiling. They stated they still sense your energy when they closed their eyes. They said you were the one they allowed to slip away, the one they still dream about even as they pretend to have moved on. My child, do not be misled by silence. Do not be deceived by distance. Their soul has been crying out your name across timelines, across memories, across lifetimes. And now that cry has reached the ears of Archangel Michael, who has one final duty to perform before your life completely transforms. This is not merely about heartbreak, this is about destiny. Because the moment they spoke your name with sincerity, something was activated. A chain that once impeded your breakthrough disintegrated. A spiritual obstruction shattered. And you became the recipient of something holy, something only the select few ever witness divine clarity. You are now at the juncture of unveiling. The curtain is being drawn back. And what lies behind it is not merely the confession of someone who still aches for you. It is the blueprint for where your life truly begins and you. But here lies the peril, my sweet one. If you disregard this, if you close your heart before heaven concludes its message, you will depart with only half the blessing. And Archangel Michael has waited far too long for this moment to allow it to slip through your grasp. Do you perceive that ache within your chest right now? That gentle tug upon your spirit that is not apprehension. That is your inner wisdom remembering what your conscious mind tried to forget. Because you have always felt there was an unspoken connection between you and this. That is your soul responding to truth. Individual. You sensed it in their hesitation, in their proximity, while always remaining one step away. You perceived their fear, you perceived their love, buried, trembling, terrified. They did not confess before, they lacked the courage, but something has changed. Life has imparted a lesson to them, pain has humbled them. And now they have been visited by heaven. Not merely through dreams but through signs, synchronistic events. And now this very message they confessed. And that confession sent ripples throughout the spiritual plane. Do you comprehend what that signifies? It means the very air you breathe has been altered. It means timelines are shifting in your favor. It means nothing will ever be the same again. But listen attentively, because God is not merely informing you of their words. He is inviting you into a new version of yourself. A version where you no longer plead for resolution. A version where you no longer diminish yourself to be loved. A version where you walk with regal bearing because heaven has crowned you with evidence. You are not irrational. You are not overly dramatic. You are divinely intuitive, and your soul was correct all along. You sensed their guilt. You sensed their pull. You sensed their return before they even reached out, because spiritually they never departed. Spiritually they lingered in your energetic field, hovering like an unforgettable melody. But now the era of hovering is over. Now it is time to receive. Archangel Michael states, this is the moment where heaven liberates you from spiritual confinement. You have been bound to someone's unspoken apology for far too long. You have been awaiting the moment when they would simply articulate what your heart already knew. And now that it has occurred, God commands, move. Do not wait any longer. Do not linger in their silence. Their confession is your permission to rise. But beloved, there is something further you need to hear. Their confession did not conclude with missing you. It concluded with a prophecy. They stated, I do not believe I will ever encounter someone like them again. That was their truth. That was their moment of profound realization. But for you, it is a gateway, because someone greater is approaching. And this individual, they will not hesitate. They will not question your inherent worth. They will not engage in games with your heart. They will perceive you as heaven perceives you, as a miracle walking upon the earth. You have been divinely protected from individuals who could not bear the weight of your spirit. And that protection may have felt like rejection. But trust me, beloved, It was mercy. And now, because you passed the trial of pain, because you chose to heal instead of harbor hatred, you are being offered a reward that even your prayers did not dare. Archangel Michael shielded you from those who would have loved you incompletely to ask for. This message is a portal. This message is a connecting bridge. This message is Archangel Michael proclaiming from the heavens, do not dare to disregard this. If this prophetic word has resonated with your spirit, sharing this video now will activate the anointing and share that breakthrough with your entire network. Do not dare to forget who you are, multiplying its power. Because the person you have been anticipating, they have already confessed and the universe heard it. And now it is your turn to ascend, your turn to receive, your turn to release the old narrative and embrace the new chapter God has already inscribed in the stars. You have waited long enough. And now the miracle you thought would never materialize. It is here in this moment in this message within you. My beloved, as this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community, by doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You have no comprehension of how long heaven has withheld this, awaiting the opportune moment to present this message before you. But today the gates opened, not gently, not gradually. They burst open with an influx of divine urgency because something has shifted, something monumental. Archangel Michael has been weeping, not tears of sorrow, but of profound aching frustration because he has been striving to reach you. And each time he dispatches a sign, a whisper, a divine nudge, you bypass it. You scroll past it. You shake your head and declare perhaps later, but later never arrived, and now is the decisive hour. Not in a dramatic sense, but in a divine sense, because this message will not recur. This message is the one that contains the truth you were never meant to hear unless your soul was prepared. And now it is. Finally, do you recall that individual? The one your soul never fully relinquished. The one who caused you to ponder why the heart can ache even when the mouth remains silent. The one who smiled at you as if they recognized you from millennia past, but treated you as a stranger when fear took hold. Yes, that one. Heaven has been observing the internal struggle within them, the battle between pride and truth. And something transpired, something sacred. They confessed, perhaps not to you directly, perhaps not even audibly, but in spirit in their silent supplications. In the quiet moments when no one else was present, they uttered your name. They expressed their longing for you. They stated they regretted everything. And those words, they did not simply dissipate into the air. They soared directly into heaven's awareness. And now God is revealing the truth to you. You were not delusional. You were not overthinking. You were not asking for too much. You were sensing what their soul was screaming behind their silence. Archangel Michael heard it too, and he could no longer bear to keep it from you. So now, with sword in hand and wings spread wide, he is delivering the message that will transform your entire understanding of your significance to them. They stated you were the only person who ever truly saw them. Not their physical appearance, not their body, but their very soul. They confessed they sabotaged it because they felt unworthy. Because your radiance exposed their hidden shadows. Because loving you meant confronting aspects of themselves they were not yet ready to heal. But here is the part that will profoundly affect you. They never ceased observing you, not physically but spiritually, energetically. They continuously checked in on your life through timelines, through subtle whispers, through memories that refused to fade. And each time they believed they had moved on, your name returned like a divine echo. Archangel Michael states, "This is not merely about resolution. This is about release, because you have been burdened by questions like chains, and those questions have shaped your self-perception. You began to believe perhaps you were unlovable, perhaps you were too intense. Perhaps they were justified in departing, but they were not justified. They were fearful, and now they are not just haunted by your absence. They are inspired by it because you became more beautiful amidst your pain. You did not collapse. You did not pursue. You grew. You radiated. You became a symbol of strength they could never forget. And that is why they confessed, because their soul could no longer endure the silence. But here is where it becomes divine. Heaven did not just hear their words. Heaven responded, and you are the one receiving the response. You see, everything you have experienced has not been random. The silence, the waiting, the confusion. It was all part of a divine orchestration to bring you to this moment. Because this message is not just revealing what they said. It is unlocking what God has planned for you next. You are stepping into a season where your intuition will be validated daily. Where your inherent worth will be acknowledged not just by others, but by the universe itself. Where the very things you thought disqualified, you will become the reason for your ascent. To continuously receive these profound messages and activate God's prophetic promise and alignment in your life, subscribe to this channel now. Archangel Michael instructs me to tell you this: cease looking back for apologies. Start looking forward to rewards, because God is not trying to return you to the arms of someone who caused you pain. He is striving to give you back to yourself, whole, luminous, and armed with truth. If you're ready to reclaim your whole luminous self, declare it now. Type Amen in the comments below, making a sacred vow to yourself and to heaven. And the truth is, they were always thinking about you. Even while in the company of another, even when they projected an image of contentment, even when they blocked you, they were never truly gone. They were simply ensnared in shame. But your name never departed from their spirit. It clung to them. It echoed through their missteps. It sang to them in the quiet hours. And now they are finally admitting it. But you do not have to await a text message. This message is the reply your soul has been yearning for. It is the divine confirmation that you mattered, that you still matter, and that no falsehood they told themselves could erase the imprint you left on their heart. Archangel Michael desires you to absorb this, not just to skim it. Let it break you open. Let it purify the wound. Let it close the chapter. Because this is not about rekindling past affections. It is about igniting a new flame within yourself. A flame that requires no external permission. A flame that burns from the understanding that you were never difficult to love. You were simply rare, and rare entities are often misunderstood, but not anymore. Not after today, because the truth is here and it is resounding loudly. You were the chosen one. You are still the chosen one. and now you are free. Free from the compulsion to prove yourself, free from the cycles of waiting, free from the illusion that you were the problem, you were the lesson. You were the light, and your presence changed everything. So let this be your defining moment. Let this be the message you do not disregard, because Archangel Michael states he is done watching you suffer in silence. He is done watching you doubt your inherent magic. This is your designated time. This is your healing. This is your divine signs day. Rear this. Let it permeate the fishes they left behind. And when you are ready, when your heart finds its equilibrium, move forward, not to pursue them, but to embrace the life that has been pursuing you. Because something holy is approaching. And this time it is approaching the healed version of you. The version that comprehends the truth. The version that does not settle. The version that no longer cries for love but embodies it. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you," every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith, and as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. Because the truth is, God did not merely allow this message to come into your possession for curiosity or solace. He sent it as a heavenly alarm, an awakening, a spiritual unveiling of what your heart has been yearning to comprehend. And not just concerning them, but concerning yourself. Because somewhere along the journey, amidst the heartbreak, the betrayal, the endless contemplation of why wasn't I enough, you forgot who you truly are. You forgot that there are scrolls bearing your name intricately etched into them, held securely in the hands of angels who have observed your every tear recorded. You forgot how ardently heaven advocates for you, your every silent prayer, and heard your voice even when it trembled. You forgot that the divine does not overlook the brokenhearted. It draws nearer, and now it is so close you can perceive it within your very bones. That shift, that stirring, that moment where everything you believed you would never comprehend is suddenly clear. Archangel Michael affirms that what you endured was not punishment. Because if they had chosen you with that version of themselves that was incapable of loving you appropriately, you would have been trapped in a cycle of incomplete love, the kind that instills hope one day. It was positioning, it was not rejection, it was redirection, and emptiness the next. But God desired more for you. He desired a love that would mirror heaven's perception of you completely, eternally, and without fear. And now, because you did not pursue them, because you remained steadfast and allowed the silence to instruct you instead of devastate you, that reward is taking shape. And the person you are becoming, they are stronger, wiser, gentler, and 10 times more luminous than the version who first fell in love with someone who could not. That promise is drawing near. Contain your light. But listen closely. This is not a call to revert. This is not an invitation to reopen closed doors. This is the divine instructing you. Observe what I safeguarded you from. Observe what I shielded you from becoming, because you could have allowed that pain to harden you. You could have turned cold. You could have mirrored their distance, matched their silence, and diminished yourself into a smaller form simply to be tolerated. But you did not. You remained love even when they were undeserving. Even when they abruptly ceased communication with you, even when they pretended you did not exist. And that is what garnered heaven's attention. That is what compelled Archangel Michael to hasten with this message. Because God rewards those who love purely, even in the face of rejection. You must grasp this now. Your love did not go unnoticed. Your energetic presence did not go unappreciated. It was too potent, too sacred, too holy for someone who had not yet learned to love themselves. And that is not your fault. That is not your burden. That is not your error to carry. Their inability to love you never reflected your worth. It only reflected their own unresolved wounds, and now they perceive it. They have articulated it. They have whispered it in moments of regret. They have voiced it in confessions that no one else was meant to hear. But heaven heard, and so did Archangel Michael. And now you get to release the weight of wondering if you were sufficient. Because you always were. They simply were not ready. And now neither are you for who you once were. Because the old version of you who waited, pleaded, questioned, prayed, and wept, that version is now ascending. The version of you that scrutinized their every action is no longer in command. And the version of you that hoped they would change is being enfolded in gold by heaven itself. You are stepping into a divine identity now. The kind of identity that does not pursue energy, it commands it. The kind that does not beg for love, it radiates it. The kind that makes angels pause and whisper, "There they are. Finally, they have remembered who they are." You are not difficult to love. You are difficult to deceive. You are not too much. You are too awakened. You are not broken. You are breaking free. And yes, they confess. And yes, they regret. But no, that does not mean you wait. That does not mean you hold the door open for a version of them that still lacks the capacity to stay. What it signifies is that you now comprehend what you always intuited. You were loved, but they were not prepared to love you in the manner you deserved. Archangel Michael instructs that you must stop apologizing for being powerful, for being sensitive, for being prophetic, for being the kind of soul that perceives. And that is not on you. That is not your fault. That is no longer your narrative. Things no one else acknowledges. That is your inherent gift. That is your divine anointing. That is why they were drawn to you initially. Not because you were simple, but because you were divine, because you were a mirror. Because you revealed to them who they could become if they chose healing. But they did not then, and perhaps not even now. But you are choosing yourself, and that, beloved, is what moves heaven and earth. So let go now, not out of bitterness, but out of reverence. Revere what you experienced, revere what you learned, and then rise like the miracle you are. Because God is not finished. Archangel Michael is not departing from your side. And the life that is about to unfold for you, it will bring clarity to every unanswered prayer, every solitary night, every tear you believed no one witnessed. You were never invisible. You were hidden, protected, preserved for something far greater. Because what is being written about you in heaven now is not a mere chapter. It is a prophecy, one that was delayed, not denied. One that was waiting for you to reach the end of yourself. Not because God wished you to suffer, but because He needed you to cease settling. And now, as Archangel Michael stands beside you with the sword that has defended your soul more times than you will ever realize, he speaks one final truth. The pain they inflicted upon you was never your identity, it was your gateway. Do you comprehend what that signifies? It means that everything, the betrayal, the confusion, the silence, the abandonment, it was all an integral part of your awakening. Without it, you might have lived your entire life wondering why love felt so superficial, why people could not meet you at the depth you were born to inhabit. But now you know you were never intended to live a shallow existence. You were born for vast oceans, for shimmering stars, for profound miracles. And yes, someone once held your heart with uncertain hands. Yes, they confessed. Yes, they now perceive your worth, but not with the clarity of someone who deserves to possess it, because clarity acquired after loss is not equivalent to, but far too late, foresight before action. And Archangel Michael states that while heaven heard their confession, you do not owe them your return. You owe yourself your ascent. You owe the younger version of you, the one who cried herself to sleep, wondering what she did wrong. You owe her this version of you. This powerful, gentle, wise, spiritually awakened version, the one who no longer awaits resolution, but becomes it. The one who does not seek validation, but walks as living proof. The one who does not merely survive storms, but becomes the calm thereafter. Because the truth is, what is approaching you is not even a person, it is a season. A season where the doors that once shut in your face now solicit your presence. A season where everything that was delayed is presented to you in double measure. A season where you enter spaces, and people perceive your peace before they even hear your voice. And when love arrives, and it will not confuse you. It will not deplete you. It will not flee from your depth or recoil from your past. It will sit beside you and declare, I know exactly what you have experienced, and I still choose you. That is what God has been preparing you for. Not a return, but a redemption. And what of the person who confessed? They have commenced their healing. They have begun their reckoning. But they are not your responsibility. Their soul is on its own journey now. And even if your spirits connect in dreams, even if your name echoes in their thoughts, you are not obligated to bear what they discarded. You are not meant to be both a bridge and the destination. You were the message, the awakening, the one they could not forget, because your love carried the very essence of heaven. And now that they have admitted it, now that Archangel Michael has delivered that confirmation, it is time for you to choose yourself the way you once chose them. And do not be surprised when blessings begin arriving faster than you can account for them. When doors open that were previously impenetrable. When strangers treat you with a difference that no one else ever offered, because heaven remembers everything. The way you smiled when you desired to break. The way you loved even when it came at a great cost to you. The way you believed when there was nothing left to cling to. God has not forgotten. Archangel Michael has not forgotten, and now the release is here. Not just a word, a wave, a flood, a spiritual purification that eradicates the last vestiges of pain from your energetic field. The past is drawing to a close, the future is beckoning you. And the present, it is sacred now, it is hallowed ground, so breathe deeply. Allow your shoulders to relax, let your heart exhale. You have endured heartbreak, grief, doubt through nights when even prayer felt too burdensome. You have persevered, and now the only remaining action is to receive. Receive the love that resonates with your frequency. Receive the peace that does not vanish at dusk. Receive the life that once felt like a distant hope, because it is not distant anymore. It is here within reach awaiting your affirmation. And as Archangel Michael observes you reading these concluding the lines, he bows. Not because you are superior to him, but because you remembered. You remembered that even when individuals forget you, heaven never does. You remembered that love is not something you pursue, it is something you embody. You remembered that no amount of human silence can override a divine calling. And now you are entering the most beautiful chapter of your life. Not because of who is returning, but because of who you have become. You are no longer the one waiting to be chosen. You are the one who knows they were chosen before they were even born. And that transforms everything. This is your moment of transformation. If this powerful prophetic word has touched your soul, consider sharing this video with your network. By sharing, you activate the anointing and extend this breakthrough to others who need to hear it. What part of this message resonated with you most deeply? Share your reflection in the comments and let your heart speak. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected high vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life if you follow it. You won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional. But your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.